What will we find today as we go hunting in France? Yes, it's early in the morning, folks. There are no children playing in the beach this morning or on the waters. It's just the ducks. The mist is rising, the sun is rising, and we are rising because we're off to the brocantes. We're at our first brocante in Croy. So we're going to take you and show you around. But the first thing I want to show you is where we've parked, because we don't often get that close to where the brocante begins. But today, someone was leaving just as we arrived. Yes, we may have got up before the sun rose, but we didn't get up before the early birds. They've already been here for over an hour, so we'd better get in there and show you around and see what there is to find on the tables of the brocante today.
Ouais, allez à plus Nathalie.
Oh, merci.
Merci bien.
Je voudrais nettoyer.
C'est combien s'il vous plaît 10 centimes le dragon. 10 centimes
Bon, ça fait 30 centimes.
30 petits centimes.
Merci.
J'ai ça, je voudrais chercher plus tard.
D'accord.
Well, there's certainly plenty to see and things to buy here today at Croy. So the variety of stuff, from wood burning stoves to fresh eggs, they've got it all. But I've picked up a little something which I want to just pop over to the shed and use on a piece of craft that someone suggested in the chat a week or two ago. Because this little guy is coming home with me, along with one or two of his friends. So come on, over to the shed now, and let's do a bit of craft together. Welcome to the shed. Wonderful to see you here, and I hope you're enjoying our vacation in France with us. We love taking you along on our adventures, and of course this is an adventure and a half because we're on our annual holidays there in France, enjoying the early morning sunrise effect of brocante hunting. That's one thing, the early bird catches the worm, or on this occasion the early bird catches the dragon. because I have this little character. Also, I have the one that I just showed you, this chap. I also have this guy. Now he's a rather complex looking little beastie. And to go with him, I have this amazing thing. Absolutely fantastic. And I have this one. Now the incredible thing about these is in total they cost me 50 cents. That's a bit less than 50p in this country and around about 50 cents in America. That's all I paid for the lot. When I was buying 3 and when the lady said, oh, 10 cents each, I gave her 50 cents and I said, forget change, and I took 2 more because I just couldn't leave them there. Someone did offer the suggestion of making a dragon's lair out of this teapot, because if you remember, here's the teapot that I rebuilt after some meanie smashed it down at the dump, and it left this gaping hole, and different people come up with different ideas about what we could do, and every one of them was a wonderful idea. Somebody said it'd make a good little dragon's lair. Well, when I saw the dragons, I thought, why not? And then I thought, with that many dragons, could I make it multi-story? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some of my teapot collection to make a decorative item using my dragons. Come along, join me now as I put it together, and then let me know what you think when we get to the end. I'm quite pleased with what we've got at this moment. I'm very pleased with my decision to not put this soaring dragon flying on the lower plinth. I decided to go for the highest point, brought it off the one full spout that we've got so that he's circling out around the top. Just as I've used this lower spout here to bring this dragon into that position ready to fly. But of course it leaves a plinth unoccupied, because whilst we've used a lovely dragon up there on the top as a motif, and of course we've got our dragon coming out of the dragon's lair as was suggested, and we've got this lovely arrangement of this ferocious creature on the broken spout, I still have that lower plinth which I deliberately created to hold a dragon. I put it there because I liked the sort of piece breaking up the pots. It had that lovely pattern to it. I've had it here a while and thought, when am I going to use it? And it offered me that extra spot to mount a dragon. So what do? Well, a few of these have a very oriental look about them, which is lovely because it ties in beautifully with that teapot I chose for the middle that gives it that oriental theme. But of course, here in Wales, our dragon is a red dragon. That's the emblem we have on our flag. But I have a red dragon, which I used on a previous project. And what I've done is I've just removed the red dragon from that previous project to put it onto the plinth right in the centre of this, to give that thought of Wales, and of course to make use again of this wonderful, beautiful gift that Jeff gave us. So I'm just going to pop that on, see what you think. Well, I've got to be honest, I really like that. I think bringing that red dragon in on there has really finished this and made it a stunning piece. That's my own opinion. I know you should never show off about your own work, but here it's not so much the craftsmanship, because it was a simple job of putting things together, but it's having the right bits and pieces. And a gorgeous gift from a friend, 5 dragons for 50 cents, and 3 teapots, 2 dug out of the ground and 1 glued back together after someone smashed it. And that's what we've got, folks. We've got this gorgeous piece. Hope you like it too. I'll give you a chance to have a good look at it now. And then we're going to head back over to the brocante, because Caroline, I think, is about to find her bargains of the day. Yes, indeed, folks. We're going to have a little look at a few stalls, and then I think Caroline could just about blow the whole of the budget Lexi gave her for the brocante in one stall. Come on, let's go and see what she did. What about the boat, yeah? The boat, they got a cat. Is that too big for what you do? Yeah. Very good prices, isn't it?
That's like some for his Christmas display.
Yeah.
Tempted by the white food.
Quite a nice white coat. We'll take the white coat then. Don't it? It's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, the brown boat as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lexi's fault.
Décoration.
Très content.
Pas un grand sac parce que.
Attendez, je vais essayer.
Vous avez un sac?
Yeah.
I hold Lexi personally responsible for all this. Thank you, Lexi, for sending a donation for the brocantes. I spent it well.
She did indeed. And I want to get back to the car because my arms are killing me. Just popping in for a moment to let you know that all the treasures we pick up at the brocantes, you can see those all on display in the live show. 9 o'clock UK time, and we'll have everything there for you to see exactly what we've been buying and all of the bargains that we found. Hope we can see you then. If you can't catch the live show, there's always a link on the community and on our Ko-fi, so you can catch it there at your convenience. Well, let's get back to the hunting.
Qui sont en capacité de dire bah, on va manger des choses qui sont faites de la marque mexicaine. Vraiment les connaisseurs aussi.
€2 madame.
Wow, what a brocante. And I thought we were going to get away with just one or two little items for me to carry. And then Caroline hit the mother load. There was a stall and she said, I like that. Oh, and I like that, and I like that. And the prices were fantastic. And, well, we just had to buy them and then carry them all back to the car. But that's not the end of our hunting today. We're going on to another brocante. But while we travel there, let's share a bit of history with you, because we're in Croy, which is just on the edge of Soissons, which is full of history. So come on, have a look at the beautiful architecture and history of Soissons, and then we'll all meet up down at the next brocante. Here we are in Soissons, to the sound of the bells, it seems. There's a lot of bells in Soissons, you know. They do like their bells in France. And here we are in Soissons trying to make the intro piece, and every time I go to speak, somebody dings a dong a bell. That must be the fourth set of bells we've had interrupt us. This is worse than a live show when everybody... Yeah. You're not showing much respect, you know, for the bells.
Oh, we're going to stay calm.
There goes another lot of bells. Oh gosh.
Oh, they go for it this time.
They are big time. I think they're in there.
That's our problem. It's the bell tower.
At last, silence. I can actually introduce Soissons. We're in this amazing place which has such incredible architecture that we want to share with you. This place has been so important for so long. Soissons takes its name from a Gaulish tribe that ruled from here in the 1st century AD and made this their capital city. 486, they lost it to the Franks, who then made it their capital city. So I suppose you could say at that point it was the capital city of France, and they held that title for about 500 years. But of course, Paris eventually took it and held it after Lyon. But there's a strange comparison between Soissons and Paris, and that's the cathedral that has been making all this noise. I'd like to show you something about this cathedral that is very striking indeed. The cathedral built here at Soissons has a striking resemblance to the cathedral in Paris. Now they have a few, but I'm thinking of Notre Dame. Yes, Soissons may not have been a capital city any longer, but it certainly had ideas of competing with Paris, because Notre Dame was started 37 years before the cathedral here. And there's no coincidence when you look at the tower on the front of this cathedral and compare it to the two towers on the front of Notre Dame. Even the formation of the central window, it was definitely built to duplicate and to impress. It took 182 years to build Notre Dame. It took 282 years to finish this particular cathedral. And they never really finished, because you may notice from the shots that the second tower never got built. Yes, when you're building something that takes nearly 300 years to finish, there's no guarantees that the generation after you will complete the vision you had. And that certainly never happened here, because as we see that great tower standing behind us, it is a tower. There aren't two. Another thing it has in common with Notre Dame is the amount of scaffolding, because at the moment there's an awful lot of work going on here to maintain this cathedral. Over the years, the cathedral has stood through many conflicts and come close to destruction on several occasions, including during the French Revolution in the 1700s and in the First World War. Following the French Revolution, works immediately began for the restoration, but they were set back a few years later when 2 powder factories blew up in close proximity to this place and blew out all the glass virtually in the cathedral, with only a few original panels remaining. And another link between this cathedral and Notre Dame is they've both seen problems brought about by what is commonly known as an act of God, or a natural occurrence, or something unexplained. Because here, the window that you can see up there, that was blown in 2017 by a freak storm and had to be fully restored. And of course in Notre Dame, 2 years later, a fire broke out and has led to the restoration works that are still ongoing there. But there's no denying, it may only have the 1 tower, but it still looks impressive. But as grand as this is, for me, there's a building just about half a kilometre from here that stands grander and prouder than this. So while we give you a last look around the cathedral, we'll make our way over to the abbey that's just down the road and see what you think. So here we are, no longer at the cathedral that is currently in full use and standing glorious, even though scaffolded for repair. We're now in an abbey, just 600 meters from the cathedral. This is the Abbey Saint-Jean de Vigne. Now the final word gives a clue to the fact that they had a vineyard here. It's an amazing building. It just strikes me as I walk towards it. But all that's left really are a few bits and pieces, and of course that tremendous facade that we saw as we approached. This was a grand place. The ruins themselves almost hint to that grandeur, but the facade definitely says this was posh. It was the richest of the abbeys in Europe in its heyday. The people here really knew they had something. But what we actually see standing today, standing alone as if the rest just evaporated, it makes sense in a way, because it wasn't there originally. It took 200 years to build, and although the abbey was established in 1076, this was built in the 12th through to the 14th century. Bit by bit, they added on the fancy stuff. One tower, and then best part of 100 years later, the other tower. There was no rush. They knew what they were doing and they got it done. This building, right under the shadow of the towers, is not an integral part of the abbey. No, this is a reminder of what brought about the abbey's destruction, because this is an arsenal. It is a warehouse for munitions that was built and used by Napoleon's troops during the French Revolution. So here we have a building that represents the very downfall of the abbey that laid alongside. As we can see right here, this stonework has broken away very recently and is actually lying down at my feet. It's understandable why they have barricaded off the entranceways and that we can't walk under the towers, because the destruction that was first wrought on this place by Napoleon I, Napoleon Bonaparte, during the French Revolution, the elements has continued. And you can see it is slowly decaying. But it is a real credit to those builders, possibly descendants, families that continued to work generation after generation, that they built something as incredible as this two-tower facade. And today, after all the efforts that have been made, it still stands against the elements. Yes, just like the cathedral, at some point the window was lost and it remains lost. We just have the huge circle that once would have held the window. But it has a beauty. And I think that here in Soissons, maybe I have found the perfect example of what I say about the beauty in brokenness. Because for me, and this is just a personal opinion, folks, you can disagree with me if you wish, just put your comments below and I'll read them all. But I think that there's a beauty here that exceeds the beauty and grandeur of the cathedral over there. Well, that's enough from me. We're going to hand over to Caroline now, and she's going to take the camera and take you on a little wander through this place and show you some of the architecture and some of the details. And then we'll get back to the brocantes.
Whoa, look at this. Oh, this is so grand. I feel very important walking down here. Like some queen going for her coronation. Or some very important high-up dignitary being taken into the church. With all the columns. This was definitely built to impress. And it's impressing me. Look at those beautiful leaves on there. And a face. Absolutely no need other than to look good. And there's a rosette of some kind up there too. Let's have a look out of the window. Oh yes, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? What a view. And it's quite good from the outside too. There's a little bit more of it going around the corner. Well, we've got to walk down there. It's compulsory. There are the steps into the abbey, but before we go inside, I've got to look down here too. Look at the shadows from the arches, all playing out on the back wall and the floor. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I do like this place. A very des res. I think I could be quite comfortable living here. Saying that, mind. It's a sunny day. The skies are blue, the clouds are friendly. I don't think I'd want to be here on a cold winter's day with the snow coming down and it being freezing. Probably a little bit on the drafty side, what do you reckon? I'm in the parterre, I suppose you would call it. And you can see little remains of the hedges where the plants were originally. And in the middle of the parterre is the well. It's been capped off with some railings to stop us falling down. And I can't see the bottom, but if you listen carefully, I'm hoping you can see the light reflecting off a little bit of water all the way down there. I've got this little tiny pebble. I'm going to drop it. We'll see if we can hear it splash. It's going to be very quiet because it's only a tiny pebble. There he goes. That's how far the bottom is. I'm not going down there. There are the cloisters. There is the knot garden or parterre. If we come down here, there's like a walled sunken garden. Now, are these giant mushrooms? Or, which is much more likely, they are columns, or the bases of columns, and they would have been 4 magnificent columns here. I bet that would have been pretty impressive, especially if they'd had some climbing plants glowing over the top. Imagine how pretty that would be. It's still quite pretty without all that. There's something romantic and, I don't know, very interesting about a ruin that lets your imagination go wild. Well, I think we've looked around the outside quite a lot. It's time to pop in and see how exciting it is inside. Are you ready for a treat? I think you're going to enjoy it. Oh, if I felt grand in the cloisters outside, imagine how grand I feel now. Can you hear the echo? All the furniture's been removed. Oh, anything wood seems to be gone. It's very hollow, but very large and still extremely atmospheric, even without all the bits and pieces. If we look up there, you can see a pulpit. Now we can't go up there because there's a gate that's locked, but if we go closer here, you can see the steps. Well worn from many, many years. And if I stand below, you can see just how high up they were. I bet you felt very small and insignificant. But there, Phil's 6 foot and he can, well, I don't think he can reach the bottom. Oh, there we go, he can, he jumps. Can you see the sun shining through the window and making a beautiful pattern on the wall? It's no good, I have to have a look. See this little hole in the wall? Do you think that was a fireplace? You can see it dips down there, but let's put you in. Now be brave, I'm going to tip you up the other way to see if there's a chimney. No, no chimney, so there must have been an icon in there, something like that. Oh, we got a window. Oh, was this a window that's been filled in, or was this for another icon, or perhaps a tomb? Aha, we found some steps in the corner. Should we be brave? I've sent Phil on down because he's braver than me. It's looking dark. Oh. Ooh. Is it dark? No, the lights just come on. We're okay. Oh, look at the lights coming on as we walk. Oh, that's exciting. Will another light come on, or is Phil in the dark? If you're feeling a bit scared, if you all hold hands, give you a little bit more confidence, but we'll be fine, don't worry. Phil and I will look after you. Oh wow, look at this. It's virtually the same as upstairs. Downstairs, oh, the lighting's a little bit awkward, but look at that. Very nice flooring too.
I'd say we're at an elevated point.
Ah yes. It probably went lower because these are just not very high, are they? Oh, let's have a look around. Oh, I just love looking around places like this. Oh, that's dark. What do you reckon? Was that an altar in there or something? Ooh, it's very dark. How far does it go? I can't see. Can you see anything? I bet you can't. And there's a piece of barrier going across, so we can't go in and explore. Oh, we've got a barrel. Always useful. Barrel-y sort of things. Oh wow. Should we go look? Oh, this is exciting. I can hear Phil behind me because of the wooden floor. He's clomping away. Ooh, spooky, spooky. Ooh. Oh wow. I have no idea if that tunnel goes on and on. Is it a secret passageway? We can see down there, but there's a gate across here to stop us too. I wonder what's in there. Let's keep walking. Oh look, there's the sky, so we're definitely in the basement. Oh, this is really exciting. I hope you're enjoying this. Not the sort of access you usually get to an old building like this. What's there? Why is there a gap there? No idea. I can't see anything up there. Ah, can you hear water? Oh, look, do you remember the well we saw from up above? That's the well. Now, I can't get through this, so I'm going to be brave now. I'm going to put you through the gap in the bars and you can look for me. There you go, we're back out now. You can open your eyes if you're a bit nervous. And we finished down here, so it's time to go back out into the sunshine. Up these very steep steps. But at least we're heading for the sunlight instead of the darkness. Oh, you've all been very brave. Give yourself a sticker. Congratulations.
So here we are, brocante number 2. This is a smaller brocante. The first one had 5 stars. That meant it was over 200, 300 people actually putting out stalls. Here it is just the 2, which puts it between 50 and 100. It's more of a village affair, but a beautiful looking place. So let's see what we can find.
Non, c'est des petits savons emballés. Bonjour. 12 € madame.
Bon, ben, bonne journée.
Eh ben merci, vous aussi,
Merci,
monsieur.
aussi. Vous ferez cuire le rôti.
D'accord, pas de souci.
I often say you can buy just about anything at a brocante, and I've mentioned some of the things you could buy today, but on the right hand side here you could actually buy a house. Now it's not for sale in the brocante, no, but it is for sale. Well, fortunately, as well as being a smaller brocante, we haven't bought anything too big so far. Caroline's a lot more restrained in this one. There again, as always, the time is moving on, and the later in the day, then the less bargains to be bought because others have already bought them. But saying that, just to walk through a place like this, to hear the sounds and to see the people and to just look at the stalls, it's great fun, and I would recommend it to anyone who visits France to find out where the nearest brocante is and go along, because it really is a wonderful way to spend a couple of hours. But we're virtually back to the beginning of this brocante now, so perhaps it's time for Caroline and I to enjoy a bit of a picnic. Hopefully, anyway, because we got up very early, so I'm about ready for lunch. Right, we've got a fair few things in the boot now, and if you'd like to check out other trips we've made, then have a look at the link up here. But until the next time we're together, perhaps you're in France, or maybe on the rivers of the UK, have fun! Bye!
Bye!